Good morning, evening. My name is Yups. Uh, this is gonna be a serious talk. I don't feel like it's gonna have like editing or like a little cut when I have to say something because it's just like I just want to talk about it and express my opinion regards to that. So, for games, we released like an interview talk with Toshiro Kondo, about AI, and he expresses support for AI translation, suggesting that the trail sales might benefit if it allowed for simultaneous releases. He acknowledged the negative around AI and want to address the issues, but stated the utilization of the new technology is inevitable. And it states that from a management perspective, the process can be streamlined with the initial by AI and then edited by humans. Do you benefit by overseas fans out there get the games faster? He also acknowledged that the temporary job losses, but believes AI will be a benefit for society. So this is a lot of bullshit. First place, it's a very ghoulish thing to say, especially for how much the Trail series has been known about their localizations from Sky and recently now from Daybreak. I hate saying Daybreak, but Kuro. Um, it's very well known because of their liberties in terms of taking the localizations. Um, but I don't know. I feel like it takes a lot of fucking how do you say, a lot of balls to say that, honestly, especially how they're being actively working together with Nissa to fix their issues about the gap. And I feel like that gap has been in the talks for like almost 2 years since the uh, announcement between uh, the partnership when they released the Trails, Azure, Zero, Hajimari, Reverie, and Nayuta, the four games. Even though like they announced the four games, but we still like they announced Kuro 1, and then by now I feel like back then was like very, I think like it was July, but we knew like there might be a chance that could be Kuro 2, and that happened. So that thing has always been the talks for Kondo and Issa, and like, especially in their interviews, and it seemed like it was getting really better based on the interviews about. I feel like it was Push Square talking about how they're tackling the localizations and how they're planning to do 6 months for Is and Trails for like 1 year or less down the line, and I hopefully decreasing how his as it goes. So I feel like feels like a stab in the back a little bit. It could be like this interview was like based like probably just the interview could be around TGS, so it could be before the interview with Square and the others. But it feels like a very annoying thing to do, especially uh, the excuse for making the SFLL for simultaneous races. It feels kind of bullshit. I don't feel like it work, especially like how people say like James and the others say how the MTL is not gonna adapt to the characters are portraying, especially like how many kanjis, hiragana. There's a lot of stuff that counts on Japanese that it does depend on a lot of context, especially for a machine. Uh, and I feel like it'll be harder and longer. Hikaru said, my take on the AI timelines, our benefit don't understand that machine is not shooting out the perfect one-on-one timeline. It'll be added by humans anyways, so whatever localization choice you disagree with might still be there. Now you lose the humans that can actually understand the text. You're replacing a larger burden on the editor, who may not catch all the mistakes, omissions, hallucinations that AI made. Sometimes the output will be so unusual the whole thing may have to be retranslated and somehow still labeled as an editing. So yeah, technically if you count the so yeah, technically if you can if you So yeah, technically you can streamline the localization with the rest of the AI if the team is involved, does not care, or are not paid enough. But worse than quality will show, it takes time and human cooperation to make a good project. I agree with that. Um, I feel like it would be longer to do that kind of thing and not feel like annoyed for sure. I feel like it'll be longer for that happen and to actually excel it, and especially if they'll be okay with that. But yeah, I feel like there's like another thing here. Here's there's likely some manner disconnect or miscommunication occurring here since a recent approach Square interview involving East America. Alan Costa, the producer, Alan Costa, and Kondo, the recent following. And because I don't think the servers anybody needed Falcon, or especially the players to figure around through, ChatGPT or something and then throw it out there. Who needs that? But this is just to the games, and at the end of the day, if a game doesn't come out faster, no one's happy about it because it loses all the glory of the beauty that was in the original. I definitely agree with that. They also commented that they found a way to cut down localizations. There's like a thing that another thing James mentioned, that there seems to be a clear sense of urgency into Kondo's words too. It does stress that in the past 80-90% of their sales would be in Japan. Nowadays, particularly in the rest of Asia and the rest of the globe, accounts for a much larger number of sales. But the exact words are literally, without global sales, we will be unable to keep delivering games for Japanese audiences. It just feels like it's either rising development costs or lowering Japanese sales, or both, maybe fueling their decisions. It's not like a thing that it's comes as surprising because the Kiseki sales for like week one has been decreasing for like time to time, and I know how Trails is not a series that you should be scared about selling less and less because it sells over time. There's like a lot of resistance, especially like for like the fourth games that were like last year that really boost up the sales. There's like a thing that Falcom as Falcom doesn't like to take that many chances and goes for the cheap route, which is not surprising in the least. But doing for the localization of all things is horrible. Like we know about the music itself, how it's being outsourced for like a good 40% or like more since like 2015. But it does like he does want to get the it does feel like want to get the profit from the global from the West before the so he can continue to make new titles and new IPs, which is kind of understandable, but not in the way he should do in the first place. Definitely not in the way, and it kind of makes it worse when Falcon is releasing games every single year. It does take a lot of time to, I don't know, updating our animations, doing new S-crafts, updating like I did, updating all the main cast S-crafts or like crafts. It does take a lot of time, a lot of money, storyboarding, new maps, even though it's reusing the same animations. It does take a lot of time to make that, and especially how they have been saying how they want to make new IPs down the line without Trails when Trails ends, which is understandable, but like it's definitely not the way he should come across. In my opinion, the meta is just feels completely bad timing, especially after the interview in the UK with Kondo and the other companies that talked to him. How you can say it, I feel like it definitely it's not a way to do that, especially for like simultaneous releases. I feel like it's definitely the worst case scenario for that to happen. Even though people like me and the others are not really particularly in a rush for it to play like day one. Of course, there's like the itch to play and MTL it, like some friends of mine do. I can wait just fine because at the end of the day, it's gonna be like actual finished product that I can just understand just fine. and there's actual people that understand the series and actually editing, because I know there's like a lot of people that are from Axie that went for Nissa, and the passionate fans from Geofront come to Nissa as well to help them to narrow the gap and close it soon. Especially like we're just like one game behind now. Just Crew 2, Daybreak 2 now. Are is going to release in December 25. No, is it 25, 21? I don't know, like the 20, the 20, 20 mark. So yeah, it definitely feels like a step in the back. For I don't feel like Falcon is ever going to have like a simultaneous releases. If on shows, I mean. It could be like with other new IP or like Tokyo Xanadu. Could be because it's a title that doesn't have the enormous amount of text that Trails does. But yeah, even though like they could give the script early, like they seem to talk about it because like they seem to talk about it because the producer of Nissa Alarm Costa said that they found like a way to do it, and the way probably is they give the script early for them. But there's a lot of things that needs to count, like the port, the voice lines, the cast for new characters again that is going to come. Redo the voice lines for like the craft or so, some of the lines. There's a lot of things, also the port. There's a lot of things they need to take into things that they can release in time in the Japanese release. Like CLE does a simultaneous but doesn't do the dub, and the port is like actually very bare bones. So it does feel like very minimal, I guess you could say that. It doesn't take that much process compared to Nissa. So yeah, that's what I think about it. Let me know in the comments your opinion about it, your opinions about it. As always, like and subscribe, you'll help me a ton. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.